Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel, welcome to Colossal Cave. I am super excited about this. I have been looking forward to this game for I can't even tell you how long. I'm so stoked. Would you like instructions? Okay, this is the first exciting thing. So, Colossal Cave, I'll try not to ramble on about this for too long before we actually start and there's nothing to look at, but Colossal Cave is a game made by William Crowther, a man called Crowther, in 1976. Yeah, so this is a new version of Colossal Cave created by a couple of the lovely people from Sierra Games, so big adventure game fans, and big fans of the original Colossal Cave, which I am as well. So this instruction thing, this is from the original game. They've stuck with the gameplay as close as possible to the original. So, as it says here, you can't take instructions if you want the maximum score, which is 350 points. But you get more lamplight if you do take instructions. So kind of the way it's meant to be played is that you take instructions your first couple of times while you're looking around, while you're mapping out the cave and learning where you're going. And then once you really know what you're doing, you play without instructions to try and get maximum points. So for now, we definitely want instructions.
Somewhere nearby is Colossal Cave, where others have found fortunes in treasure and gold.
Yes.
It is rumored that some who enter are never to be seen again.
Downer.
And magic is said to permeate the cave. I know of places, actions, and things. Take me with you, and I will be your eyes and hands.
Thank you very much.
Keep watch on your compass. It will guide you through the cave. I know of a few special objects, such as a black rod hidden in the cave.
Write that down.
Take these objects and carry them in your inventory, which will show you the items you're carrying. Some objects have side effects. For instance, the rod scares the bird.
Write that down.
And usually, people unsuccessfully manipulating an object are attempting something beyond their, or my, capabilities, and should try a different tack.
Beautiful. So this is all very similar to the original. Crowther was working at a place called, oh hell if I can remember, I think it was BBS, but he was working on developing the ARPANET, which is kind of a precursor to the internet, the computer network, that kind of spread across a couple of companies and some universities. And that played a big part in spreading this game. William Crowther and his, now unfortunately ex-wife, were spelunkers. They were big cavers, and they were the first to print vector-based maps, I think, as well, of this place, Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. It's the longest cave system in the world. And that's what he based this game on. So he mixed his real-life knowledge of Mammoth Cave and some of the known places within it with his experiences playing Dungeons and Dragons, and he made a little game.
Take heed that cave passages turn often, and realize that exiting one room to the north does not always guarantee entering the next from the south.
Yes.
And just because you enter a room one time without issue does not mean that you won't be rechanneled elsewhere the next. To get full credit for a treasure, you must leave it safely in the little building.
Oh,
and
yes.
you do get partial credit for just locating the treasure.
Oh.
Points get lost for getting killed, or
Right.
for quitting, though the former costs you more. Also,
Don't get
points are
killed.
based on how much of the cave you've managed to explore. There is a large bonus just for penetrating the deeper cave, distinguishing the beginners from the rest of the pack.
I'm gonna do so badly.
There are other ways to determine whether you've survived some of the more harrowing sections.
All right.
And if you think you've found all the treasures, just keep exploring for a while. There's more to discover. Occasionally, I may offer hints if you seem to be having trouble.
Thank goodness.
If I do, I'll warn you in advance how much it will cost your score to accept the hints. Good luck.
Thank you, narrator voice. I'm so excited. So I'm definitely gonna start out. I definitely want auto mapping. So you can clear the map and start again if you've played previously. Interesting. You can go totally original if you want, and you can map on paper if you like. I think I'm gonna go with accepting all the hints I need, taking the instructions, auto mapping. I'm gonna play it kind of as intended originally, just learning where everything is, how I do stuff, the shortcuts, the spells, And then once I'm really good at it, I can try it without all the hints and stuff to try and get a higher score. Maybe. Here we go! Okay, yeah, so there are 2 control methods for this game, by the way.
You were standing at the end of a road before a small brick building.
It's fucking beautiful.
Around you was a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully.
Yeah, you can play this just with the mouse in like traditional sort of point and click way. I've turned it to use WASD as well, because that just feels a bit more natural. So this is kind of a modern point and click.
You are standing at the end of a road. The stream tumbles along a rocky bed.
Beautiful. This is, yeah, a modern interpretation, like point and click version of this game, because it was a text-based adventure. It was the first adventure game, Colossal Cave. It was, I don't know at what point it was actually referred to as Colossal Cave. At first it was just called Adventure or Advent, and it was only known as Advent because the machines they were using at the time had limited characters, so that was what it was usually shared as. But yeah, so this was Crowther's way. After his divorce, he stopped caving with his caving group that he went to with his ex-wife, and he had a lot more, this is according to him, he had a lot more time on his hands, and he really missed his daughters, so he started working on this game. And he made it, it was with an old, I think, it was well, it wasn't old at the time, but he made it with PDP 10, and it interfaced with a teleprinter, which is basically kind of like halfway between a typewriter and a computer. So you didn't have to have a monitor to play the game. It would print out. And he made this natural language system, which is really fascinating. I'm super into this, by the way, because this was a big part of my MA research for my final dissertation, looking at how technology connects and develops traditional role-playing games. So, because this was the first adventure game, and where adventure games got their name from, this is really exciting to me. So he did that, and he shared it, he popped it on the server, on the ARPANET server, and then he went away on holiday for 2 weeks, and he came back, and people were playing his game, and people loved it, and it was a complete surprise to him. He didn't expect people to enjoy it. And in 1977, a man called Don Woods played the game and asked if he could have access to the code. And he really developed this game. It was, when Crowther first made it, it was about 700 lines of code. And then Don Woods, I think when he was done with his first version, it was something like 3,000 or something like that. And he added a lot of fantasy elements, a lot more. He came from a lot more of a gaming angle, whereas Crowther was very much about recreating the cave system. And I just think together they made something really, really beautiful. And Don Woods actually kept updating the game until 1995. And so many people were updating it and making it available on different systems and things like that. And it was all, everyone got permission from Woods and Crowther before doing anything with the game, and it was all completely open source. Just, it's such a wonderful story of just making things and sharing them and developing them out of love and passion, and because these were programmers on the cusp of new technology who loved what they were doing, there's just no, I think there's been one version of Colossal Cave that Woods and Crowther got paid for, and they got like a really nominal fee. And then like Microsoft made their own version, and there were a couple of sort of versions that spawned out of this. I mean, it spawned a whole genre, so there was a lot of very similar stuff or stuff based on it. But this is the original, and I played it for my dissertation, obviously the text-based version. And I found it super freaking hard. So I'm really excited to get down to it in like a modern 3D form. I think it's going to be really cool.
The door is closed.
Rude. Okay, I can open the door. Okay, so far it's right click to change. I'm going to move where my mug is. Right click to change interact method. So it's very standard, like point and click. You've got your our narrator is basically, like you said, he's our hands and eyes. So we can use him to look at things or to touch things, and later we can do other stuff as well.
You see rushing water.
Touch it.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Some keys down there. Okay, lantern.
There is a shiny brass lamp nearby.
Gimme that. Yes, please.
There is a bottle of water here.
Okay, bottle of water. I don't know if I need that. Here's the other thing about this game. Your inventory is very small. It's very limited. They really kept... I'm going to have to look up her name because Roberta Williams and Ken Williams, her husband, are the ones who created this version of the game. Because Roberta Williams especially... Roberta Williams, if you're not familiar, from Sierra Games, is essentially the inventor of point and click. She's quite humble when she talks about it. I heard her say that really it was sort of Apple that kind of inspired it by creating the mouse, because obviously pointing and clicking on a computer or, on a monitor was a new kind of thing, and so she was the one who brought Sierra away from text-based adventures like Colossal Cave originally was to point and click, which is kind of the perfect evolution for this game, I think.
There is food here.
I will take the food. I'll take the water as well. I'll just take everything and we'll find out what I need as I go. So this game was really inspirational to Roberta Williams, which is super exciting because it means a lot to me as well, and so does her work. So when I saw this and how invested she was in this project in bringing this game to life in a modern way, that's so cool as well. I'm just super excited about this. In early gaming, let me grab these stupid keys.
There are some keys on the ground here.
Yeah. When it comes to early gaming, it's kind of up for debate. A lot of people have very particular views and aren't interested in challenging them, but it's kind of up for debate what the first video game was, what you consider the first game in early gaming. This is something that I thought was quite interesting. But there is just no doubt Colossal Cave is the first adventure game. Adventure games came from this journey, this adventure, and I think that's important and really cool, and I think that preserving this in a modern way is just so interesting.
Here are my pro tips for playing this wonderfully immersive,
oh my God, thank you, Roberta.
Frustratingly complex
Here she is.
game. Tip 1. First things first. When you're asked if you'd like instructions, take them.
Okay,
It may seem tempting. Don't forget to keep a notepad and pen nearby. You'll want to take notes as you play.
Oh gosh, okay. I need a notepad.
3. If you're having trouble with the audio or speed of the game, don't worry.
Got a notepad.
You can easily adjust these by going to the game menu and choosing the settings option.
Okay, good. Thank you, Roberta.
Tip 4. Allow the game to auto-map your way.
Yeah, definitely.
If you do, you can find the map in the upper left corner of the inventory screen on all versions except VR. On VR, it's the X or primary.
Okay, thank you, Roberta. I do adore her. I think you can watch that in your own time if you want it. So this is the inventory page. Like I said, very limited inventory. Technically it's 8, but one of them is the map. So you have 7 inventory slots. And you're meant to be going in. The idea is you go in, you find a treasure, you take it back to the well house, and then you go back in so you can drop stuff. And on this version, they've done an amazingly helpful thing, which is if you drop an item, it will show up on the map. So you can see where you've dropped something and go back and get it when you need it, which is amazingly helpful. So here's the auto mapper, which is just so much nicer than anything I could make if I was doing this on my own. If I was doing this all by hand. Okay. I think I've got everything there is to grab here. Let's go and look at this view, shall I? It's gorgeous out here. Kinda don't want to go into a dank and dusty cave, to be honest, but...
You're in open forest, with a deep valley to one side.
And it's bloody lovely. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, I can run. This is good. I can do a little jog. Go down. I can go down the stream. I'm not sure which way I'm actually supposed to be going. Owl? Oh, hello!
A large owl seems to be watching you.
Hi! What is this?
The grate is locked.
Can I use my
Set
keys?
of keys. You have unlocked the grate.
I've unlocked the grate. Is this the way I'm meant to go in, or have I just discovered a shortcut by accident? I have no idea.
You're in a 20-foot depression floored with bare dirt. Set into the dirt is a strong steel grate mounted in concrete. A dry stream bed leads into the depression.
Okay, I guess... You're spelunking now! That's the achievement I just
You're
got.
in a small chamber beneath a 3x3 steel grate to the surface.
Ooh.
A low crawl over cobbles leads inwards to the west.
A bin.
Strange. Looks like others have been here before you.
That's not that strange, is it? Somebody's dropped a can. That's not very good. Right next to the bin. That is so typical. Okay. So the music in this is very,
Brass lantern.
lamp on.
The lantern is now lit.
Hell yeah. The music in this is quite old as well. It was chosen by Roberta to kind of reflect the age. There's a lot of classical tunes that we can expect. That sounds like skittering. That sounds like a rat. It's so strange, you know, after playing this game as a text adventure, it's really very strange to see it in 3D, you know? It's really peculiar. Oh, something that's interesting, using, I'm probably going to throw out some nerdy facts now and then as we go. You can still use Crowther's original version. Obviously, Don Woods made additions to the game that added more sort of fantasy elements. He added a couple of different caves and stuff, but if you just take Crowther's original map in this game, you can use the game to navigate the real life Mammoth Cave. It still works like as a map to the real cave, which I think is really cool.
You are crawling over cobbles in a low passage.
It's just trash. There's just lots of trash. Can't believe how much trash there is. We're like a meter from the bin.
There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby.
Okay, well, I don't have a lot of space on me, but I will take that for now.
Wicker cage.
Gosh, I don't remember the game well at all. That looks
You're
too
crawling
small.
in a low passage.
Yeah.
You're crawling in a low passage.
Yep. Sorry, narrator. I didn't mean to upset you. Okay, so wicker cage, wicker bird cage. Something like that. It's a little bit strange. Oh, it's freaky. I could never go real life spelunking. This is scary enough in video game form. I don't know where I am. Okay. Cobble crawl. Alright. Oh, here's another thing about this game. You gotta save. You gotta be saving. There's no autosave. Roberta recommends you save every time you enter a new room, every time you pick up an item, every time something changes. Which I think is a good idea. There's so much trash! Why is there so much trash near the cave entrance? Extra, read all about it. This is very upsetting. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter. A piece of wood. More trash. Ah, is this the trash that I happened upon earlier? I think I might have just gone in a circle. I believe I've just done a little circle. I think I went this way to find the wicker basket. I should have kept an eye on the compass, really, where taken a better eye to where I was actually going. Okay, dead end with trash. Okay, here we go. It's easy. Zizzy. Sorry, easy. It's Zizzy. Zizzy is a spell.
It says Zizzy.
Hell yeah, it does. So... now I have Zizzy, which I can use. The best thing to do with the spells and stuff is kind of just try them out, in my opinion. Zizzy, I believe, is the teleporting spell. I remember that being the teleporter spell, but it only works here. I think it only works at the... as long as I'm not messing that up, confusing that with another spell. I think that's the teleportation one that only works when you're by that rock, or in this room. So... I've just got here and I haven't found any treasure or done anything useful, so... Ooh!
You're in an awkward, sloping east-west canyon.
I certainly am. Careful. Is that bats I can hear? I love bats. I'd like to see a couple of bats. Oh my gosh, it's actually... oh, bats! Ask and ye shall receive. It's actually beautiful and bright and sunny for a change. The last couple of days, it's absolutely gorgeous. Which makes it so much harder to work looking at a screen. But I don't want to close the curtains, because then I'll miss out on all the beautiful sunlight. Hi!
A cheerful little bird is sitting here singing.
Hello? Aren't you beautiful? Can I grab it?
You could catch the bird, but cannot carry it. Wicker
What
cage.
about if I had a wicker cage?
You have captured the bird.
Okay, now I have a bird.
Little bird in a cage.
Feel a little bit guilty about that.